You're listening to Navid Moosa of the Mindset Movement. Good day, good people. My name is Navid Moosa. I'm your host today and always for the Mindset Movement. First-time listeners, thanks for giving us an opportunity to earn your trust. We know there's a lot of information out there. You stop here, listen to us. We appreciate that. Long-time listeners, thanks for your loyalty. We love you just as much, if not more. Look, each and every week we get into it right away, and this week is no different. I want to talk about buckets, okay? Not actual buckets. Talk about proverbial buckets. And here's what I mean. So something I don't talk about a lot is I do have a course out there. If you go to navidmoosa.com, you can actually, I have a course on being an agent tour. Basically, if you're a real estate agent and you're new, you can purchase this course and it kind of gives you a way to think outside the box, how to become an investor yourself, how to deal with investors. And I also offer one-on-one coaching as well. In that one-on-one coaching that I offer, I talk to my students / clients about buckets, putting people in buckets. And I did an interview with a friend and fellow investor, and we hadn't talked for a while. And it was funny because during the interview, she said the same thing, how she puts people in buckets. And so, here's what we're talking about, buckets. So if I told you to make a list of all the people who were to call you, and if they call you, you would drop everything you're doing to go help them. Write that list out. Write those lists out, right? You put down the names of people. Now, I want you to reverse it. How many of those people do you think would drop what they're doing to come help you? To stop and drop and do whatever they're doing to come help you because you need them the way they needed you. I'm willing to bet that whatever list of people you commit to, less than 50% will commit back to you. And this is how you start your buckets. Okay. You write the list of people out first, and then you write out from that list who would drop everything in the world to come help you if you needed it at a moment's notice. Whoever's in the yes bucket, whoever's in the yes, you put them in that yes bucket. Whoever's in the I'm not sure, put them in that bucket. Whoever's in I got a pretty strong chance they might do it, put them in that bucket. Now you have 3 buckets, right? So by doing this, okay, you kind of get a true sense of who's really in your corner and who isn't. And it's not to say that the people who wouldn't drop to what they're doing or people who are in the maybe bucket, and those 2 buckets there, that they're bad people. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you are willing to commit to them more than they are to commit to you. That's all it says. That's all it means. But you need to think about yourself. Are those people then worth that time? Now, you shouldn't do something for somebody in order to get something in return. I'm not saying that's how you have to look at it. What I am saying is that if you're going to do something for somebody and it's not going to be reciprocated, is it then worth your time? And that's a very tough question to ask and answer. It is. But one thing I've noticed is that we give so much energy into people thinking, hey, if it was them, they do it for me, when that's really not the truth. We don't really think about it, right? We don't think insane because that's messed up. Think that way. Well, will they do it for me? Well, if they do it for me, then I'll do it for them. I'm not saying that's the right or the wrong way, but in my opinion, that's a messed up way to think. So by default, when someone says, hey, I need this, and you're that type of person, you just say, okay, fine, I got you. You go take care of it for them. And then if you ask them for a favor return, it doesn't, you're like, oh, okay, it's okay. And I can't do it for you now, but I'm sorry. Hey, not a problem. It's okay. That's fine. I just thought I asked because I was in a bind, but I'll take care of it. And you really will, and you really mean that. But then you ask again and they say no. You ask again and they say no. You ask again and they say no. And they ask you and you say yes. It's going to wear and tear on your relationship. I don't care what you think who you think you are, how strong you think you are. You keep giving out favors, but then when you start asking, they keep getting declined. It's going to start weighing and tearing at you very slowly but surely. And it should. We only have one life on this earth to live. why not make it with people who are of a same value as of yourself? Why not fill it with relationships with people who are going to give to you the same way you would give to them? And I'm not talking dollar for dollar or materialistic item for materialistic item. I'm just talking compassion. I'm talking empathetic. I'm talking just being there for you, even if it's just to shut up and listen. So I would highly recommend that you get a piece of paper and you write out, these are the people who I would jump through hoops for right now. Just write that down. Okay. For the most part, when my students do it, they average about 8 people. The longest I saw was 26 people, which was crazy. For the most part, our students see about 8 people that they write down. And then they go, okay, then I ask them, all right, out of those people, the 8, the list you have there, whatever number that is, how many of those people do you know for a fact that you bet your bottom dollar would do the same for you in return? And it's usually 2. It's usually 2 people out of that list that actually do for the return. And the remaining 6, pretty fair, gets split at 50-50, 3-3. So that's what I would like you to do. I would like you to write that down. And then when you do that, start thinking about it. Start thinking, damn, I'm dedicating a lot of time to these people. They're not dedicating to me back. All right. How do I feel about this? Some of you may say, nothing. Hey, it is what it is. I'm totally fine with that. And that's fine. I'm saying this is not a right or wrong exercise. This is let's evaluate who do you have in your life, and is it worth it to keep it in this bucket? Because if there's somebody who's not going to reciprocate that love for you that you're doing for them, you don't kick them to the curb. You put them in a bucket. You put them in a particular bucket. And so whatever may come up, then you say, well, you know what? Let me go to this bucket over here for that resource, whatever it may be. So it is a messed up exercise for a lot of people. They think that's pretty fucked up, but it's not. I'm telling you, it was very hard for my students to do it. But when they did it, every last single student who's done it, and I mean everyone, not just for the most part, 99%, 100% students who have done it have come back to me months later and said, thank you. Thank you for telling us to do this. Thank you for putting me through this exercise. It was hard to come to grips. It was hard to think about my real reality. There's what I thought my reality was and what the actual reality is. And this exercise thoroughly helped me understand and see where I needed to go. So I'm excited. If you guys get a chance, I highly recommend you do it. And then I'd be interested in hearing and seeing, send the information to info@navidmoosa.com. Send me your results. You're going to tell me name the people, but you can put the number. You can say, hey, my list of me committing to was 8 people. My list of people committing back to me was 8 people, 7 people, 2 people, whatever. I would like to see what the ratio is, but I'm willing to bet my damn dollar, my damn last dollar, that the list committing back to you is 50% or less than the list of people you're committing to. So, hey, and if it's not, if it's tit for tat, congrats. You're one of the few. You're one of the lucky. But that's what I got for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Each and every week, we try to bring you guys value. Like I said, in each and every week, I end the show the same way, and that is just take care of the client. Take care of the client, and everything else, I promise you, will fall into place. Just take care of the client, do right by the client, and everything else will fall into place. And sometimes you yourself are the client. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Have a great week. Be careful out there. Be safe out there. Do the right thing. I'll talk to you guys next week. See ya.